Hello everyone. In this lesson, we are going to do class 12th chapter number 8. Oh, sorry, 7, which is directing. ठीक है? So let's get started. Which of the following is not a characteristic of the directing function? Directing is required at which levels of the organization? What makes the directing function a continuous activity? The directing function is primarily related to which of the following? Why is directing considered a creative activity? Which of the following describes the executive function of directing? Directing is termed as a delegate function because what is the main reason for the importance of the directing function? Which of the following is true about the pervasive nature of directing? Which characteristic of directing emphasizes its importance in influencing the behavior of subordinates? अब इसके ये आंसर्स है. Which function of directing helps to start the actual work within an organization? How does directing help to integrate employees' efforts? Which aspect of directing is directly related to motivating employees? What is the key benefit of the directing function in relation to organizational change? Directing helps to achieve stability and balance in an organization by what role does directing play in initiating action? Which function of directing involves overcoming employee resistance to change? How does directing contribute to achieving organizational goals? The integration of employee efforts in directing primarily aims to. What does directing ensure when it comes to balancing individual and organizational interests? ये इसके आंसर्स गिवन है. Which principle of effective direction focuses on aligning personal interest with organizational goals? The principle of unity of command emphasizes that. Which principle ensures that there is one head and one plan for a group of activities with the same objectives? What is the key benefit of direct supervision in the directing function? Participative democratic management emphasizes. Effective communication is essential in directing because the principle of follow-up in directing involves. Which principle of effective direction can prevent confusion delays in an organization? Which principle is most closely related to preventing dividing loyalty among employees? To ensure that subordinates' efforts are aligning with the organizational goals, which principle should be applied? Which element of direction involves overseeing the work of subordinates? Motivation in the context of direction is primarily concerned with. Leadership as an element of direction can be defined as. Effective communication in management is described as. Which element of direction ensures that employees are encouraged to contribute their best efforts? The role of a manager in a leadership involves. In the directing function, supervision refers to. What's the primary focus of effective communication in an organization? Which element of direction is directly associated with inspiring and stimulating subordinates to work? The process of passing information, experience, opinions in direction is known as. These are the answers. Which of the following best describes supervision in the context of directing? Supervision is more important at which level of management? What term is commonly used at the operative level of management to refer to individuals responsible for supervision? Which role of a supervisor acts as a link between workers and management? How does a supervisor ensure control in the workplace? Why is the maintenance of discipline considered an important function of a supervisor? Which of the following is a key benefit of the supervisor's role in providing feedback? The supervisor's ability to motivate employees is directly linked to which of the following? Supervision helps in the optimum utilization of resources by. Which function of supervision ensures that instructions are communicated to every employee? Supervision is essential in ensuring that the actual work progresses. What role does supervision play in improving motivation among employees? In terms of feedback, how does supervision contribute to organizational decision making? The supervisor's role in facilitating control primarily involves: what is the outcome of effective supervision in terms of resource utilization? How does supervision ensure the maintenance of discipline in the workplace? What's the role of supervisor in issuing instructions? Which of the following roles does the supervisor play in connecting management policies to workers? How does the supervisor contribute to the control process in an organization? What is one of the key functions of supervision in terms of resource management? Which of the following best defines motive? Motivation is the process of. What are motivators? Which feature of motivation emphasizes that it is an internal feeling that cannot be forced on employees? Motivation is goal-directed behavior because what does it mean when motivation is described as a complex process? How is motivation a continuous process? Which of the following is an example of positive motivation? Negative motivation typically involves Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is fundamental to understanding which of the following is the most basic level of Maslow's hierarchy. Safety needs in Maslow's hierarchy include social needs in Maslow's hierarchy refer to esteem needs in Maslow's hierarchy are related to self-actualization needs are concerned with which of the following needs must be satisfied first according to Maslow's hierarchy. According to Maslow, which needs emerge after physiological and safety needs are met? How can a manager use Maslow's hierarchy of needs to motivate employees? Which level of Maslow's hierarchy would likely be addressed by providing opportunities for career advancement? In Maslow's hierarchy, what type of incentives should a manager offer to satisfy self-actualization needs? Which of the following is an example of a basic physiological need? How can management satisfy the basic physiological needs of employees? Which of the following is not a safety security need? Management can satisfy safety security needs by affiliation belonging needs are related to what is one way management can satisfy employees' affiliation belonging needs? Esteem needs in Maslow's hierarchy include to satisfy esteem needs, management should self-actualization needs. Which of the following best describes self-actualization needs? How can management satisfy self-actualization needs? Which need is being satisfied when a company offers good salary, wages, comfortable working conditions, providing job security, pension, insurance, etc.? Which Maslow's needs? Encouraging team building, allowing employees to develop cordial relationships with colleagues, satisfies which needs? Recognizing good performance and providing employees with important job titles helps fulfill which need is addressed by offering employees the freedom to take decisions and opportunities for personal growth? What should management focus on if employees' basic physiological needs are not yet met? Which need is most directly related to an employee's desire for job stability and pension benefits? If a company focuses on providing opportunities for social interaction and team building, which need are they prioritizing? An organization that emphasizes growth opportunities and encourages creativity is addressing which level of Maslow's hierarchy? What is the primary goal of offering important job titles, recognizing employees' good performance? Which of the following is considered a financial incentive? Pay and allowance are example of which financial incentive involves giving employees a share of company's profits. What is the purpose of productivity linked incentive schemes? Stock options are an example of. Retirement benefits are considered a type of. A company offering business bonuses is using which type of incentive? Prerequisites are typically offered as which of the following is a non-financial incentive? Organizational climate refers to career advancement opportunities provide employees with Job enrichment as a non-financial incentive focuses on employee recognition programs are designed to which of the following non-financial incentives ensures employees' continuity in their jobs? Employee participation in decision-making is an example of which incentive focuses on giving employees more power and control over their work. What distinguishes financial incentives from non-financial? Which of the following best describes status as a non-financial incentive? An example of a perquisite the financial incentive could be offering insurance benefit to employees is a primary way to satisfy which need. What is a defining characteristic of an autocratic leader? Under an autocratic leadership style, decision-making power is autocratic leadership is best used in which of the following situation? Which statement best describes the approach of an autocratic leader towards subordinates' input? Autocratic leadership is often compared to an autocratic leader typically communicates. The autocratic leadership style should normally be used. Autocratic leadership is least effective when. What is a key feature of democratic leadership? In a democratic leadership style, how a decision is typically made? Democratic leadership is most effective in which situation? One of the benefits of democratic leadership is that it which of the following best describes when democratic leadership should not be used? Democratic leadership involves a democratic leader typically. The use of democratic leadership can lead to which leadership style is most appropriate when quick decisions are needed? In which scenario would democratic leadership likely be more successful? What is the potential disadvantage of autocratic leadership? A democratic leader is most likely to. Autocratic leadership can be beneficial in situations where which of the following is not a characteristic of democratic leadership? Which leadership style might lead to higher employee morale? Democratic leadership should be avoided in situations where an autocratic leader's communication style can be best described as which of the following is a major drawback of autocratic leadership? When is autocratic leadership most appropriate? In a democratic leadership setting, what role does the leader typically play? Which leadership style might be less effective if time is of the essence? Autocratic leadership can be effective in which of the following scenarios? Democratic leadership is likely to fail when. A key benefit of using democratic leadership is an autocratic leader. What is the main characteristic of a free rein leader? Free rein leadership is also known as. In a free rein leadership style, the leader primarily acts as. Which of the following is not a feature of free rein leadership? When might free rein leadership be most effective? The term laissez-faire literally means what role does a free rein leader play in group problem solving? Free rein leadership is least effective when. What is the definition of communication in an organizational context? Which of the following is not a key element in the communication process? The element of communication responsible for converting thoughts into communication symbols is. In communication, what is noise? Feedback in communication is. Effective communication is important for directing because. Which of the following best describes the role of media in the communication process? Decoding in communication involves. Which of the following statements is true about communication? Communication is essential for coordination because. Which of the following is an example of noise in communication? A successful communication process in an organization leads to. What role does effective communication play in promoting cooperation and industrial peace? To establish effective leadership, a leader must. In the context of organizational communication, feedback ensures that. Which of the following is not an outcome of effective communication? What is a critical factor in improving the directing abilities of a manager? Communication within an organization can be classified into two categories. Which element in the communication is responsible for initiating communication? Why is two-way communication important for effective leadership? When might communication be considered ineffective? How can communication increase managerial efficiency in an organization? What defines formal communication in an organization? Which of the following is true about formal communication? In formal communication, what does vertical communication refer to? What is an example of downward communication? Upward communication typically includes horizontal communication occurs. Which of the following is not a popular communication network in formal communication? In a single chain communication network, the wheel communication network is characterized by which communication network is most centralized? Informal communication within an organization is also known as which of the following is a type of informal communication network? The gossip informal communication network is characterized by in a cluster informal communication network. Which of the following types of communication is not typically documented? The grapevine network can be both beneficial and problematic because which of the following is a disadvantage of grapevine? How can managers effectively handle the grapevine? Informal communication often arises out of what is key difference between formal and informal? A cluster informal communication network is most likely to develop when what is the meaning of formal communication? Which channel is used in formal communication? What is the meaning of informal communication? What characterizes the nature of informal communication? Which statement best describes path of formal communication? Which type of communication is known for being more rigid and less flexible? What is a key feature of informal communication channels? Which form of communication is generally documented and filed? Which type of communication is more likely to involve social interactions? Which of the following communication types cuts across all official channels? Which of the following is a semantic barrier to communication? What issue arises from faulty translations? Technical jargon is most likely to cause what type of barrier? Which barrier occurs when oral communication is distorted as it passes through various levels? How does a lack of attention affect communication? What psychological barrier occurs due to a lack of belief in gender? What barrier arises when organizational policy does not support the free flow of information? Which of the following is not an organizational barrier? What personal barrier might result from fear of punishment or demotion? Which action involves ensuring that ideas are well defined before communicating them? Which aspect of communication involves being aware of language, tone, and content? What helps to address misunderstandings and remove hurdles in communication? What involves actively engaging with the content and the speaker in communication. Which practice ensures that communication is adapted to the receiver's needs. What is the primary purpose of following up on communication? What action ensures that communication is effective and clear? Which semantic barrier involves a message that is not clearly conveyed due to poor expression?